Alright, hello Minecraft Infitech fans. I've got a fun one here for you, the Large Sifter. So this is one of the new GT++ machines, and I'm going to go over this thing. Now, I want to give a word of warning before we start. Large Sifter control here, read this thing here and follow these instructions here on building it. Because these are correct. If you build the Large Sifter block control, this diagram over on the side here is wrong. Do not follow it. It will not work that way. I actually followed that instead of the instructions because I saw this and I figured, well, this must be the way it works, and they just hadn't updated the text. Well, it's the other way around. So you build this guy. It's going to be a 5 by 5 around the length and width, and then 3 high. These go in the center just of the middle, and these things here, sieve grates, are in the center. They're the middle layer and then the top layer. And you see they emit little particles as the thing runs. And then you've got outputs. Which can go just about anywhere. Apparently there's a cave nearby here. I'll have to clean that up. Alright, so this thing here, the bottom is just mostly these machine casings, or I'm sorry, these sieve casings. There's a maintenance hatch, obviously. There's an input bus. And the input bus you can input, probably just an LV is fine for that. Outputs, you're going to want to use MV at the minimum, and maybe even HV. In fact, I'm probably going to build HVs for it because this thing really pumps out the material pretty fast. This is running at LV level. You're going to need an energy hatch, the basic turbine to run it. I'll run a gas pipe down here eventually. I put that there as a test. It's already emptied my chest. I have you definitely want to use MV at the minimum output buses. I'm just going to manually dump that. You can see it because it'll start pulling from the top and then things will fill up. You can see it's really hard at work here already. It's really ripping through these fast. And it has a pretty good output here. Oddly enough. Let me take this for a moment. Oh yeah, you can see it's ripping from the bottom up. So it still has a lot more material to go through. Yeah, I wanted to show you how that was going there. I think I screwdrivered this one. I didn't want to as well. Let me fix this guy right here. Now you see the output buses here. Now you want it to export, and it should just automatically export. You got to connect everything up. So that gives you an idea how it's built. Now this thing here does take. You are going to need to be at the level of advanced machinery at this point, of high voltage machinery. I would actually highly suggest you not probably build this thing until you have, or at least at the almost at maybe the beginning of the nuclear age. This thing's you don't really need it until you get the large miner. The large miner is really the only, or the mining, whatever you call it, the mining, the ore drilling plant. The ore drilling plant's the only thing with the level of output that really requires something like this. Although it does seem to run pretty economically. You can see it's just really churning stuff out right now. It's really cranking through. Pulling these 2 at a time is doing it 400%. I think if I had MV, it would go a little bit faster. I think if this fills up, it shunts to the others. I haven't actually seen it do that, and so I don't know. It's interesting to see. Sometime I'll dump a variety of crap in here and see what happens. A variety of small change stuff in there, and we'll see if it shunts over. But for now, I'm just gonna let it go. And obviously for this here, you just need to. Really just need LV for the input. You do need to set that to import, and then you can throw a small chest here. Hold everything you're going to need. And you definitely want at least a gold. You're probably going to want a gold chest here. I'm going to have to upgrade that eventually. You can see the sheer output of this thing. It's monumental. This thing is fast. And it'll be great for coal mine. If you're running a coal mine, and you're running tons and tons of coal through to get to sift it out so that you can, maybe feed this baby over here. Hey, that's a good idea. I could set this thing up over, I could move it over here. It's a bit of a bear to move, but I could do that and have that run coal. I think you get the point. I want to keep this short because I'm trying to keep this as a no-nonsense. Again, ignore this thing on the side. It is crap. Just follow the instructions up here. The materials are gold is used in some of these, and a little bit of chrome as well. You have to make some interesting alloys. Let me go a little bit into the alloys used here. Tembaga AU7CU3 is an interesting history lesson. I looked this stuff up. This was used in parts of South and Central America by the Native Americans. They would make this alloy, and it's kind of much darker than gold. And then they would cover the front with citric acid, or maybe even paint it on, and the citric acid would leach out the copper. And then when they wiped away the copper citrate, they would end up with fairly pure gold on the front. It was a way of gold plating things without electricity, which is really quite clever. So they would do a little bit of chemistry on that. It's very interesting that the Native Americans at the time figured this out. It's a very, very cool thing. That's Tembaga is what you're going to use, and it's a little bit gold heavy. It seems like a stupid thing to use in a machine, but that's what they want you to use. So you're going to want to make sure you got some gold handy. Eglin, and this one's quite a lot of stuff in here too. You can see the makeup of it here. 4 iron. There's a Canthal. There's an Invar, and then there's sulfur, silicon, and carbon. Which sulfur would actually be an impurity. I looked this stuff up. Now this stuff was developed for the Moab, the mother of all bombs, and other bunker buster penetrators. So it's really tough stuff. Oddly enough, you don't need the the metals here all use the regular furnace to cook. So it's kind of interesting. You don't need to use your blast furnace at all to make this thing. But it will other than the core thing here, which is going to need some stainless steel parts. Other than that, the rest of it is 100% old school way of building things. It's just going to need a lot of material to make this happen because it is a big machine. I didn't see any other guides on this. As far as I know, I'm the first person to make a YouTube video really going into this. I checked Bearsden. I didn't see anything directly from him, but he has a ton of videos and a ton of content, so I may have missed something. All I saw was a few articles complaining about this situation here with the diagram being wrong. That's about it. So hopefully this was helpful for you, and thank you for watching.